it's me, Lois, with Aussie Lozzie Knit Designs, and I'm here for part 2 of the 1x1 color brioche knitting in the round. So we did the setup rounds and joined in the round in the last part 1. Now it's part 2. We're going to be knitting the 2-row 2-stitch repeat. Okay, so let's switch to our hands and get started. Okay, so I've been going here for a little while. I've got a nice 1x1 rib going, my beautiful squishy knit stitches, and squishy pearls. Okay, I'm coming up to a beginning of round marker, and so I thought this would be a great place to start. I have just purled this stitch, so I'm going to work a knit yarn over for this stitch and then do a brioche purl. So what ends up happening when you're working in the round is that every round you're going to encounter a situation where you have to do a brioche purl and a brioche knit in a row, and a yarn over and a yarn over in a row. So this is a brioche purl, brioche knit in a row. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and slip like normal, making that yarn over for my knit stitch, bring it to the front, and I'm going to purl those 2 stitches together. I move my slip stitch marker, move my yarn to the back, do not yarn over. If you yarn over at this point, that is going to end up making an additional stitch and a hole. So make sure you don't do that. Just bring it to the back and then do a brioche knit. Okay? Now I'm doing magic loops, so I got to bring everything around. Again, you don't want to yarn over on this first stitch. So this purl is supposed to be slipped with a yarn over now. So I'm going to slip it with my yarn in the front, and then I'm going to knit into the next stitch, making a yarn over. Okay, bring the yarn to the front, slip, knit, make a yarn over, bring to the front, slip, brioche knit, making that yarn over. And remember that the brioche knit is really just knitting the yarn over with the stitch, and so it's not overly complicated. I think sometimes we hear these terms and think, oh my goodness, what does it mean? Well, it just means knitting the yarn over with a regular knit stitch. It's fine. You can do it. You can do it if you can knit. You definitely can do it if you can knit 2 together, because that's all this is. All right, so magic loop. Whoops, I went too far. All right, so now remember, if you're magic looping or double pointed needle knitting, that you do want to be aware of where your yarn over should be. I need it to be with my purl stitch, so I did not wrap it around my cable. Instead, what I want to do is bring my yarn forward now, slip that stitch, and make the yarn over. Okay, and just with, if you're using the right sized cable, you don't have to worry about that. But definitely with DPNs, double pointed needles, or like magic loop like I'm doing, that is a big deal because it's just going to cause stress. So just be aware of it and make the right adjustments. Okay, now we're coming up to my beginning of round marker again. This time we're in a yarn over situation. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring our yarn to the front like always. We're going to slip the purl. We're going to go around to the back. Well, I can do things. We're going to slip the stitch, bring our yarn back to the front, slip the stitch, adjust for magic loop. Now remember, I need that yarn over on this cable, so I'm going to keep it over there. Oh, and keep it under the stitch. There we go. All right, and I'm going to brioche purl now. Brioche purl. And here we go. And we're ready to go. So we just have the yarn already in front, so we'll slip that stitch, bring it around, purl, brioche purl. Yarn in front, slip, wrap around, brioche purl. Okay, I'm not actually making a thing, but if I was, I would get rid of that yarn. This is just for a tutorial, so it's annoying. It's unsightly, but we'll just ignore it. Okay, here we are, back to the purl and then brioche knit. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap around like always and brioche purl. We're going to slip that stitch marker and see we have our yarn over ready for the brioche knit. But we don't want to make another stitch or a hole. So we need to be careful not to yarn over this time. Go under the needles, bring the yarn to the back, go ahead and brioche knit. Bring the yarn to the front, slip, yarn over, and knit into that next stitch. And then just continue on your merry way. Here we go. So yarn to the front, slip, wrap around or go to the back, come around to the front, move that stitch marker, slip, and now we can see this in action. That's why I wanted to do this. So we brought it back to the front to slip the knit stitch, wrap around, brioche purl, and that's that transition when you're doing in the round. Okay, so you just continue on your merry little way and you'll be doing great. And look at this squishy fabric. Thank you so much for watching this video tutorial on the one color 1x1 brioche knitting in the round. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I also want to mention that I do have an email newsletter. And if you're not subscribed to that already, you should definitely do it. I send out emails as frequently as 3 times a week, but as infrequently as once a month, depending on your preferences. I'll put a link below so that you can be sure to do that. I send out emails on Freebie Fridays. So these are free knitting patterns that I myself have knit and can say, like, these were good patterns, I worked them, and maybe give you some tips that I learned while working those patterns. Wednesdays is more personal and we share our works in progress. And then Monday is usually just an update on all the things going on. We're entering the busy knitting season, so I'm sure there will be a lot going on. See you soon. Bye-bye.